Hello, I'm Xena, aka Curious Bunny. This is a DIY video to show you how to make a 3.7-volt battery charger using the Fogger Pod vape system, mainly the dock part of the system. Disclaimer. Quick note about the audio. I'm using a voice narrator in this video, but everything you see is me. I wrote the script, did the teardown, handled the soldering, and built the DIY charger. I don't like my own voice, and I don't have a good mic or any type of setup, so I had the narration recorded for clarity and pacing. The hands-on work, decisions, and techniques are all mine. The narrator only reads the lines. The footage, demonstrations, and modifications are genuine and performed by me. Sorry for the crappy video footage. I have no way to record videos properly besides using my phone, which is a hassle and super difficult due to needing both hands to properly show the process. With that said, if you somehow see this video and you're under 18, do not do this at home. But if you insist, ask a qualified adult. And if you are an adult, be careful and don't hurt yourself. Please be responsible. Starting with why I do this and why I started. I've been breaking things down my whole life, just to learn how they work, to make them better, or to turn them into something completely new. I smoke, and I use vapes, but I can't stand the amount of e-waste they cause. I'm not judging anyone, that'd be hypocritical, but I do always suggest avoiding them when you can. So I decided to keep every last one I finish and salvage everything inside. Then I repurpose the parts into reliable tools, gadgets, and little doohickeys. And that's what I'm showing you in this video. I'm going to tell you what you need, but this video is only applicable to the Fogger vape pod system. I'm still working on other brands. This breakdown is also a DIY charger build for 3.7-volt lithium-ion rechargeable batteries, because I use it to charge the custom 3.7-volt cells I make from the batteries I salvage out of these vapes. Why the Fogger dock works the best so far? The Fogger dock and pod system is far better for salvage and repurpose projects because its power hardware is physically separated from the coil and pod. That separation gives direct access to the battery and charging interface without cutting into a sealed pod where heating, wicking, sensing, and airflow components are all packed together. Fewer mixed circuits means fewer chances of accidentally bypassing safety features or damaging something critical during teardown. Because the charging and battery management circuitry live in the dock instead of the pod, you rarely need to bypass protection circuits just to reach the cell. That lowers the risk of shorting the battery, disabling overcharge or overcurrent protection, or otherwise turning a safe cell into a dangerous one. In practice, you get safer teardown, cleaner parts, and more reliable components for future builds. Safety note: salvaging lithium-ion cells and electronics still carries real hazards. Never bypass protection circuits, and always test, store, and handle cells with caution. What vape type/brand I'm using? The vapes I will be using are the Fogger pod systems. The pod system is chock full of goodies to salvage, but in this vid I am only using the front piece of the vape, which is the dock. We only need the front piece. Dock. Pod. Not needed, but keep because I'm working on something for the pods too. You should prep to the best of your ability, as I mentioned earlier, before you put everything together. You'll want to put the housing to the side for now. You'll need it for later. Now, you want to snip the red and black wires at their center. Do them one by one as to avoid a false connection. Once you've done that, the battery will be separate from the board. Make sure you keep it. Now you have to solder the snap connector to your board. But first you'll extend the wires, with one red for the positive side and black as the negative. But I'm out of black wire, so I'm substituting it with a white one. This is so your wires don't end up too short. You can always customize the length to how you want it. It's important that when you wire the snap connector, you wire it the opposite way, which means the black negative wire on the board goes to the red snap connector's wire, and the red positive wire on the board should be wired to the black wire of the snap connector, which is white in this case. Now solder the two wires onto the connector to extend it. Attach the white wire to the red snap connector lead and attach the red wire to the black snap connector lead. Here you want to malt a decent hole in the top of the body, as shown in the video. But a quick note, make sure the hole is wide enough for the connector to move through it smoothly, so you have the option to keep it free or glue it down. That's up to you. These are the final steps before you assemble. Route wires. Feed the snap connector wires down through the body from the top. Twist each snap connector wire to its corresponding board lead with reverse polarity. Connect the red snap wire to the board's black lead and the black snap wire to the board's red lead. In the video, I replaced the black snap wire with a white wire because I ran out of black wire. Solder each connection, then trim any excess wire or protruding solder so the assembly is neat and safe. Lastly, put the display back into the body. Lay it face down, make sure everything is lined up, and then press firmly with both thumbs, one near the top and one near the bottom, so you don't stress the screen. You'll need a good amount of force to pop it back in, and you'll know it's seated correctly when you see all 4 locking lips snap into place. After that, just press the backplate on and you're done. Thanks for watching. This is the longest video I've done, so sorry it's crap. Feel free to ask questions, and you'll find links to my socials and my Ko-Fi below if you feel like donating. But other than that, stay curious.